Here's an update on that Pontiac 461 stroker. All forged bottom end, and that is a aftermarket forged steel crank, H-beam rods, custom Ross forged pistons, custom ground comp roller cam. I did a video previously that showed the, you might be able to read, that light's going to be too bright, but it's down in there. It says Butler, specifically Ross pistons made for Butler Performance. It's got the full H-beam connecting rods. Everything's been fully balanced. All the clearances for the rod and main bearings checked. File fit and hone for the piston to cylinder clearance. File fit the ring-in gaps. Everything has been properly blueprinted and accounted for. See if you can see that in there. The solid roller cam, fully installed and degreed per comp's recommendation. My previous video showed the Edelbrock cylinder heads that we went and picked up at the actually met the machine shop guy and picked up those cylinder heads after I got done porting them, and he finished his part of the job. I'm pretty sure he said that he put that BOP neoprene rear main seal in it and not the traditional Pontiac rope seal, which is what I recommended, but I had personally never used one. But I think he'll be a lot happier with it. I told him that I had heard, because he was real worried about it sealing and not working properly, but I had heard of people assembling their motor, putting the full capacity oil, 5, 6, 7 quarts, whatever your system is set up for, put it in the engine, hang your engine from an engine stand, or not engine stand, engine hoist, and lean the engine backwards, not fully vertical. I'm not being retarded here, but lean your engine back on the engine hoist to where you have a lot of oil sitting back on the back side of your pan and your rear main. And if there's any issues with your rear seal not sealing properly on your crankshaft, that oil will find its way out of there. So we're probably going to do that just as an extra precaution to make sure that rear seal is sealing properly on that crankshaft before installation, because pulling it back out to fix that is just a huge pain in the neck. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Mega Braces they sell for these Pontiac V8s, but these Pontiac blocks have what's called a windowed cam tunnel. Some people call it webbed or windowed cam tunnel, which is detrimental to block strength. So what they sell is it's a two-piece per window, where there's I want to say it's close to a 1/2 inch thick steel plate that comes up from the bottom side of that lifter bore or lifter tunnel, and then has a contoured, specifically shaped aluminum, which is probably at least 1 inch thick, piece that comes from the top of the block, and it basically sandwiches itself between the bottom cam tunnel and the lifter area, and actually bolts together and gives more strength to the block. I wish I could roll this thing over, but I don't have any way to hold my camera while I flip the engine over, because we have completed the first half of the installation of the Mega Brace. I will tell you, if you're going to run a Mega Brace, even though they tell you in the instructions, can be installed in engine, even in the car, I do not recommend that action, and I'll tell you why. The Mega Brace, after you get it pre-fit to your block, because sometimes you have to do a little bit of cleaning off of your around your lifter boards. The outer areas of your lifter boards need to be free of casting flash and all that, which you're definitely not going to want to do in the car. It is really hard to hold on to that lower steel plate. Matter of fact, you have to put your lifters in their lifter bores, or you can drop that plate all the way down in the oil pan. So, or at least on the other side of the cam, because it's a very tough maneuver to try to do that stupid Mega Brace with the bottom end assembled just on the engine stand. Plus, final assembly requires the use of JB weld, because where that aluminum upper part brace contacts the actual outer side of your lifter bores, they recommend using JB weld. Well, when you got a fully assembled forged bottom end, you're just sweating it, hoping that you can install this Mega Brace and not drip JB weld down on your roller cam, or God forbid your crank and rods and all that junk. So just word of caution, if you're a Pontiac builder and you want to run a Mega Brace, put that sucker in way before you even have the thing hot tanked, or at the very least put it in before you start final assembly on your engine, because it's absolutely a pain in the neck. So right now, the first part after you test fit your Mega Brace, clean, making sure your casting flash and your mating surfaces are clean and flat, they have you assemble it with the JB weld in between the top half of the Mega Braces and the lifter bores, and then you bolt your steel bottom plate to the bottom. You only torque it to 10 pounds. You torque those two bolts to 10 foot-pounds until you let the JB weld fully cure. After that, you basically, what you'll do after the JB weld cures, you will take out your bolts one at a time and put red Loctite on them. Then you'll start a torquing procedure where you will put your lifters in the lifter bores that are associated with the two Mega braces. Start torquing it 5 foot-pounds at a time, checking for any lifter bore distortion. The goal is to get it to between 35 and 40 pounds of torque on both of your Mega Brace bolts per brace, while not encountering any distortion of your lifter bore that would interfere with lifter movement. If during your torquing process you encounter any resistance or lifter bore distortion, they just tell you to go back 5 pounds and leave it. So right now we have it installed, torqued to 10. Gosh, it's been almost a week. So we just have to finish the torquing process and make sure there's no lifter bore distortion. And then we can start throwing, we're going to throw the heads on it and get everything set up to where we can check for push rod length. So anyway, I just want to give you guys another update on the Pontiac 461 stroker. It's come along slower than we'd hoped, but everybody's been busy. As usual, when you're building anything with hot rods and aftermarket parts, there's just a lot of issues that pop up that were unforeseen. We had to spend a lot more money on the cylinder heads than we originally budgeted. But it's a situation where if you're going to spend this much money and build this kind of engine, you have to have it done. Surfacing your heads when they're not flat, you have to have them done. Core shift, where your valve guides are no longer centered on your valve seats the way they should be, got to have a valve job done. One of the intake seats on the Autobrock heads had some pretty severe pitting. Well, you gotta fix that. So now that the heads are completely done, ready to bolt on, we've got all our head gaskets and all that junk. He has a custom windage tray for this setup, and he was doing some cutting on it to make sure it would clear his H-beam rods, and because you could see where it was trying to rub the rod bolt, so he's cutting clearance holes in that. But anyway, we are getting there. We hope to get this thing put together. Probably a lot of it will be done this Sunday, because that was the first day both of us could make time to work on it. So anyway, there's your progress update on the 461 Pontiac Stroker. Again, that's a high dollar, all forged bottom end, rotating assembly, fully balanced from Butler Performance, Leoma, Tennessee. If this is the kind of engine you'd like to build, contact them. They'll hook you up and get you on the right track to making some good, strong Pontiac power that's reliable. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. When we finish the Mega Braces this Sunday, I'll make another video with the motor sitting upright so that you guys can get a better idea what the Mega Brace looks like and how they work and how they make the block stronger. So you guys, thanks for watching, and I'll try to get some more videos up. Thank you.